Hey guys, welcome to the video on Bharat and Germany. My name is Bharat, that is Alina.
Bharat's wife, for some people who still don't know, because I saw some comments like that. So these days I have been managing Bharat's YouTube comments and stuff, because obviously with a big business you cannot do these type of things anymore. So I have been managing the comments, and then I saw a comment under a recent video which really triggered me. It triggered me because I had this exact same situation. I had this exact same situation happening to me, and it really made me upset. So let me first read the comment and then tell about my personal experience, and then talk about this. So we don't mean any disrespect, but we just wanted to make a diplomatic video where we address this type of thing. So the comment reads: because here in India, intimacy and bonding between peoples are important, where in foreign countries, in a family itself, there is no bonding. Tradition values are very strong in India that we have to respect. Let's talk about why this triggered me. For some who don't know, I was working in the Indian consulate for 3 years in Hamburg. We had a team meeting with all the employees, and somehow there was a topic, I don't know, going on. We were just doing the small talk before the meeting, and then there was a topic coming about I think it was even an Indian holiday or something, and then they were talking about how Indian traditions, cultures, this, that, and asking me, and about this holiday, this, that, all fine. And I always like these things because I could learn a lot about Indian culture. But then the same type of comment happened to me, that they said that in Germany, first of all, I'm not German, I come from Russia, but I grew up in Germany, but I still feel, because I grew up in Germany, I still feel offended when somebody speaks bad about Germany. They were saying the same thing, in Germany there's no family bonding, this, that. And because it happened in front of 13 people, I couldn't really say something bad, because first of all, I don't...
13 Indians, I think.
Yeah, 13 Indians, and I'm the only German. So I couldn't really say something at that time, because first of all, how can you fight your boss in front of 13 people? That you cannot do that. Also, in this type of situation, you just are so surprised that something like this happens in front of everybody, that you are shocked, you don't know what to say. And then of course it's a meeting, it's extremely uncomfortable as well, because everybody's looking at you. And I was super angry.
So I know what shown in the Indian serials that, everybody watches, the family watches together, or the movies and stuff. And every single time they put out this idea that in India you have such a nice family bonding and stuff, and everybody outside they're just absolute evil with no family bonds whatsoever. They don't care about each other, and they throw out the children when they're just 18 and things like that. And this kind of thing really just becomes bigger and bigger. Now if you think about everybody who's working in any Indian consulate or embassy whatsoever, again, most of the time that they have spent is essentially in India, among Indians, and with very little bonding of any kind with other cultures. Even if you would be in any kind of professional setup, you would have any kind of meeting whatsoever, you will still not understand the family values, because for that you have to be invited to different kind of functions. You need to be a part of a very small group or a family, like I said. And for me, I know it. For me, Alina's in-laws and stuff, it was a completely different story. So I can say a lot more things here, but
that's not even it. For example, I think you can only understand. First of all, you cannot generalize all families, because every single family is different. And for example, you cannot just look on the outside and say this culture or these Western nations, they don't have any family bonding.
In India, so politicians, news, series, movies, all of them say it so many times. Western culture,
And
Western culture.
there's-
It's the most horrid stuff on the planet, but they don't understand. It's how do you define the Western culture, man? Even if you're in Europe, Denmark has a different culture, Germany has a different culture, Romania has a different culture. Every single country has their own culture, and there's so many things which are different. How do you first of all generalize that, and then afterwards you just generally they start talking about whatever the things are happening in America, and that's just whitewashed over everything else.
But even America, for example, I can talk a little bit about the American culture, because I was living with a family for 1 year and I was going to school there. I have some kind of ideas, so I can, but even then I cannot give a general picture. I can talk about my own experience about the family I was staying with. Again, if I would have stayed with another family, the experience would have been completely different. And by the way, I stayed with 2 families. One family I stayed for 3 months, and the other family I stayed for 9 months.
Now, look, I as an Indian, I always like to point out mistakes, and I'm like, hey, this is happening wrong. This is something we have to work on. This is something you have to keep in mind when you want to improve yourself. And that's the only way you improve anything. But then there are some other people who just always talk nice about everything. There's nothing wrong happening in India, and that's why India, which was supposed to be a superpower by 2020, 2010, blah blah, nothing is changing there and things are getting worse.
Because I wanted to make this video really diplomatic, but it's again going in a different direction. But before we did the video, I was actually talking to our team, which is 13 people by now, and I was like, guys, I want to make a video, but I would also want to make this topic justice. So let's brainstorm and let's everybody give their opinions and stuff. And our oldest member of the team, who's 50 years old, who we value a lot because he always has different insights. He's a parent. He's older generation, so he can give us a lot of different out views. So I really liked what he said, and that was 3 important points. And that was, number 1, each culture is unique in itself, and obviously no comment needed for that. No one has the right to question other culture, customs and traditions, religions, whatever. That is true as well. And then mutual respect is the key to harmonized civilization. So again, that is a very important point. And then also one of our team members was mentioning that people who want to leave India themselves,
watching our videos,
they say these type of things, bashing the Western cultures or the other nations. Not bashing, but telling they have no family bonding. I think this is a pretty big statement.
Here's the thing, Alina, about family bonding. I think only the people who are a part of a, let's say, a white family or a Western family, they can talk about these things. And I can personally, I think from what is very visible from this comment is most probably he hasn't been a part of that. The people in the Indian consulate, they haven't been a part of that. And I can tell you about it from my own personal experience, because yes, Alina's family had a Russian background, but we have also Alina's stepfather who is German. We have all sorts of mix. We have family and friends who are Germans. From all of that, one thing I can tell you is they also respect family very much. If you have some kind of birthday and stuff, everybody makes sure that they're gathering together on that specific day and they're celebrating it. Then afterwards, Christmas is such a holy time for them, that of course this is family time, and we don't do anything else during this time. These kind of things, taking family vacations together, and always planning that, okay, in this summer or in this winter we are going to go to this place. Now all of these things just shows me how much they value the time together. I remember so many times you would just yeah, okay, holidays, we sit at home. And I know from India that some of my friends, they cannot even speak to their parents. Some of the people actually have to if they have a girlfriend or something, they cannot talk about it. If they do not want to do a specific job, specific study whatsoever, they cannot talk about it. The kind of barrier you have in the Indian families many times, that's massive. I know that there's also the decent families where you can just talk to each other super nicely. My family was pretty decent family. Open. I could talk about everything.
Always supportive. Yeah. Always, even our marriage and everything. Yeah. They never. And it's in India, it's not normal to get married so young.
No, not just that. So also to a white woman essentially, yeah. Because many people are yeah, white woman, they will just leave you, and so much nonsense they speak there too. I know my uncle.
Can I tell one story? Yeah. So actually the other day a woman messaged me who I knew from the consulate times, and she was
yeah. Oh my goodness.
That was so funny. She was actually writing to me like about that somebody needs the help, and this is also what I don't like. Like we barely had any contact, but you still will ask for favors. I don't
You
like.
ask for favor when you have built a rapport with somebody.
Yeah. Anyways, so it's fine, it's okay. But like, then she was asking me, "Are you still with your husband?" And I was like, "What?" How do you come to the idea that I'm not with my husband? And then
So like this kind of nonsense happens too often in India. And for example, my uncle, so he was like, like you guys have to like come here like after marriage and things like that, or you are dead to us and all of this nonsense. Like I personally think that in the Indian families sometimes like you can have so much like just like barriers and like so many obligations and things like that, even if you don't want to do it on your own. Like your own family doesn't care about it, your own family is like absolutely happy with what you want to do, but like sometimes your distant relatives, like they start talking nonsense, all of these things. I don't see that in German families. Like nobody's complaining about how you look, how you like have glasses, how you have white hair, how you have like you are overweight or something like that. They're like generally encouraging. Like instead of criticizing, they're going to like figure out ways to like encourage you. And I've seen it so many times with like so many friends and stuff. Whereas in India, I've also seen cases where the family is open, but more often than not, I've seen cases where like the children, they cannot like speak openly even to their own parents about their wishes, their dreams, their fears. They can't do it. So like, how do you say that like Indian? Many people who come abroad, they have this like romance with like the Indian culture, like it's the best culture on the planet and things like that. And I personally really believe that it's always a pro and con. Like every single culture has its good sides and the bad sides, and I think you should really be respectful to both.
Exactly. And when we do these type of videos, there are these people who say, "Oh, why are you bashing India?" This, that. We are making these videos not to bash a country. We are very clearly stating that every single country has good and bad sides. Germany, Russia, India, whatever other country. And like also, I'm not saying that Germany and Russia has the best family bond. No, that's also not true.
Yeah.
It always depends on the family, and these like generalizing nations or countries, I just find very stupid. Like I was sharing this because I personally experienced it, and it was the most uncomfortable thing, and to this day I'm still fuming. Like I cannot forget this situation, and I'm so angry, and I have such huge regrets that I didn't point this out in front of everybody and made a statement and told this is not okay, you cannot talk like this. Anyways, maybe one day I get over it.
Maybe one day you get to like tell them about that.
Yeah.
But I think like we Indians have to learn a lot. Like for me, like it has been like a very transformative experience where like I went from like generalizing everything to like understanding that they're like different people in different countries and different cultures and so on. And it's stupid to make statements like these if you ever expect yourself to like integrate into a different country, because if you want to be successful anywhere else you move, you have to be a part of that culture, you have to be part of those people. Now you don't have to forget your identity, but you have to respect their culture for sure, and only that's how you
I think the best solution for this is integration. In Germany, we don't expect you to forget your own culture, but they expect you to integrate. So what does this mean is that you learn the language, you respect the German people, and they will respect your culture as well. It goes like hand in hand. You respect them, they respect you. Nobody tells you like don't celebrate your national holidays, don't do this, don't do that. That doesn't happen at all. But at the same time, they expect respect back, and I think that's the least they can ask.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, like I personally really like Indians are like one of the like good immigrants too. Like you see like people who are actually open to integrating and stuff, and like are happy to be part of other people's culture and things like that. But you have also like some of these people, like
but you will always have that.
You will always have that in any country.
But again, you cannot generalize. Again, this nation is a bad immigrant or something. No, it again will depend on the family, on the person. So yeah, I think the whole point of this video is just please don't generalize. Stop this stupid culture of bashing the West, or like maybe some other people bashing India. It is stupid. It doesn't bring anything to anybody. like every country has its benefits and its bad things. So like I think this like having harmony and like a good environment is like so much more important than having your like 1 second satisfaction of like writing a stupid comment like that. Yeah, so the point of the video, I think everybody understands by now. Just have respect for each other. Don't generalize things. Don't like try to bash other countries. It doesn't make any sense. And especially when you want to go abroad, when you are interested in going abroad.
When you're watching our videos, you most probably want to go abroad. So
Bharat and I also, we had our big cultural differences and we had many fights, but like now at this, after 6 years of marriage, we have, I think, figured things out and we are very respectful to each other's cultures and families and whatever. So yeah, I think that is the message.
yeah, perfect. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want to talk about something else or want us to talk about something else, write it down in the comments. We pick up your comments, we make videos about it. So if you have something going on in your mind, let's talk about it. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.